At midnight, execution feels effortless. You're wide awake, mapping out career pivots or academic goals, and the path to success seems entirely clear. But 6 hours later, when the alarm rings, that clarity vanishes. You're met with a wall of physiological resistance that makes the goals you set just hours ago feel impossible to start. This is when the snooze cycle begins. Before the day has officially started, you're already behind, feeling overwhelmed by the very tasks you were excited about the night before. This gap between nighttime ambition and morning reality is the specific bottleneck that keeps most people from ever actually reaching their high-level objectives. Many people try to bridge this gap with sheer discipline, but relying on finite willpower to fight morning grogginess is biologically unsustainable. Your brain's resources are at their lowest when you first wake up. Complex morning routines, like ice baths or long meditation sessions, can often completely backfire. They create high-friction barriers that actually increase the mental weight of getting out of bed. Bypassing this resistance doesn't require a 2-hour ritual. It requires weaponizing the brain's unique state of vulnerability upon waking with one specific verbal phrase. To achieve massive goals, you need to rewrite your brain's starting parameters before the day's resistance has the chance to fully engage. The phrase is, "I dictate the day. The day does not dictate me." Speak it immediately upon waking. This phrase targets the reticular activating system, or RAS. This internal filter completely resets upon waking, sitting in a neutral, impressionable state. Speaking these words out loud forces the RAS to prioritize proactive information over the reactive anxiety that usually floods in. The physical act of speaking is vital. It forces multiple brain regions, motor, auditory, and cognitive, to coordinate around a single executive command. This multi-sensory engagement ensures the phrase isn't just a fleeting thought. It becomes a structural command that your waking brain is forced to process. Usually, your brain boots up into a reactive stress system, scanning for external threats like unread emails, deadlines, or exams. The spoken phrase serves as a cognitive interrupt. It breaks that automatic reactive sequence before it can take hold of your morning. This interrupt shifts you into an internal locus of control. You are no longer responding to your environment. You are the active driver within it. This isn't a generic affirmation meant to hype you up. Unlike simple positive thinking, this mechanism creates a specific identity shift by forcing the brain to recognize its own agency. Operating from an internal locus of control changes your decision-making matrix for the rest of the day, as your brain is already primed to take proactive steps rather than defensive ones. By loading this proactive software script immediately, you establish momentum before the day's stress has the opportunity to boot up. The first result is a short-term win, a morning where you bypass procrastination and move directly into a difficult task without internal debate. Over 30 days, as shown on this graph, the daily use of this anchor begins to compound. It alters the baseline of your morning psychology. You move toward a state where hitting career goals is no longer an external struggle, but a reflection of your internal identity as a high achiever. Consistent use of this morning anchor bridges the gap between the things you want to achieve and who you actually are when you wake up. Feelings of fatigue, deep mental burnout, and lack of motivation are biological constants that everyone experiences. Maintaining unstoppability comes down to a reliable psychological trigger that bypasses lethargy, ensuring you move forward regardless of how you feel. Put this into practice tonight. Write the phrase, "I dictate the day. The day does not dictate me," on a sticky note, and place it on your bathroom mirror or phone screen. Tomorrow morning, speak those words out loud before you check a single notification. Prove to yourself that you are the one who dictates.